What's up, guys? I'm Evan.
And I'm Corbin.
We're brothers, and we like to game.
A decent amount.
A decent amount.
Yeah, so decent, in fact, that in the future we'll be covering a lot of games just with reviews and let's plays and all that good stuff. But for today, we'll be zoning in our focus on this bad boy right over here.
It's a Super Punch-Out for the SNES.
Classic game.
Really fun game.
Very, very classic game. So yeah, let's dive into that.
All right.
Story. Story, might not talk too much about in this particular game for obvious reasons.
Well, what is it?
Kind of non-existent for the most part. No story about ancient evil being awakened from the past or anything like that. Basically, you're just this boxer dude named Little Mac. You just box people and work your way up through the ranks.
Trying to go for the, what's it called? The WBBA.
I don't even know what it's called. Really fun to kind of work your way through like the ranks. You know, there's the minor circuit, major circuit, world circuit, then eventually the special circuit. So yeah, it's just really kind of addicting to kind of just start from the bottom essentially, and you know.
Almost like Drake, but not like Drake though, because that's his lane.
Not Drake. By around the world circuits, things start really picking up, and yeah, the world and special circuit, especially the special circuit. Yeah, some of those characters can definitely kick your ass.
Yeah, it's a big ass though, because
few occasions, more than a few occasions.
That one guy has a stick though.
That's one old Asian dude uses a stick later. It's kind of bullshit, kind of completely against the rules. But considering you have another dude who like kicks, and another guy who spits in your eyes earlier in the game,
it's like boxing / kickboxing / MMA /
basically a free for all fight.
I mean, from the very get go, Little Mac is just definitely outnumbered and just at a complete huge disadvantage.
Yeah, Little Mac's what, like $150 soaking wet, and you face Bald Bull in the first circuit who's probably like close to 300 pounds. Bear Hugger and Mad Clown, like type 17 obesity. Another cool feature I thought they added in the game was the time attack mode, actually. Once you beat certain circuits, you can go back in a time attack mode and fight the fighters again and just try to beat your best time with it. That's probably where I spent most of the time with the game, actually. Just going back in the time attack mode, just trying to get my times as low as possible there.
Alright, for the controls, I would say they're, well, I mean, it works. I mean, it plays right.
This is definitely, I would say, the best factor about the game. Just the controls are super responsive and quick. Button layout's pretty easy. It's not hard to memorize.
I mean, it's not Street Fighter here. We have like these combos. It's just...
Yeah, you're not having to press like a 7-button combination to pull off like a punch. You have your basic punches, left and right jabs to either the face or the stomach, and then once you've built up your little special meter at the bottom, then you press another button to punch instead, and you can do like rapid punches or like a super strong punch. I would arguably say they're better than Mike Tyson's Punch-Out controls, actually.
It's like they took that game and made it better.
Control-wise,
I'm really a big fan of sprites. Just the characters' faces, the whole background, the audience cheering, and just even the shading is pretty good too. The shadows and their muscles, detail is really big in this game.
That's probably the biggest part, is just how much detail they put into each specific character. The graphics designers definitely did like a really good job in making each one kind of distinguishable and memorable in that sense. They all have very different qualities about them that separate them, and I like how they give Little Mac kind of a transparent effect to make it seem like you're controlling from behind him, actually.
His hair is so 90s though, little Sean Hunter parted
got
hair.
Got that nice part in the middle.
Boy Meets World.
There's not too many songs in it. It reuses a lot of the same stuff. The announcer actually has his actual voice actor, so he'll call off, you know, each specific boxer and give all the KOs and TKO signals and all that, so that adds a nice little element there.
I think of like the good old Mike Tyson's Punch-Out. I mean, the songs back there were so mesmerizing, and I don't know, I mean, they're both very comparable, but to me, it's kind of what I go back to, especially when they're jogging, you got the guy in the bike.
Pink jogging suit, just trekking along there.
Where'd you get this suit?
You know, the punches and stuff, they all have like pretty decent sound. You know, it makes a difference when there's like a weak punch or a special punch, so you know if you're just giving him like a little pussy punch, if you're like laying the smack down or something, you know.
We'll put it this way, it sounds like a punch when it's a punch.
Basically, yeah.
So, overall, what would you say this game is?
You know, I'd probably give this game a solid 8.5, which I think is a pretty fair rating for it.
8 and 50 cents, huh?
Yeah. Just overall, a really fun and challenging game. The gameplay is really fun. Just obviously the only gripe is, you know, it's a boxing game. There's not overall too much stuff you can do with it. I mean, there's the main story, which if you didn't lose a single fight, you could beat the main game in like a half hour. But obviously, for most new time players are going to lose on a lot of occasions, so definitely hours can be spent when mastering the game for the first time. For the game that is there, just a really fun and solid ass game. Yeah. All right. So one last thought before we finish things up. Evan, who was your favorite boxer in this game?
God, there's so many. But if I had to pick one dude, I would say Dragon Chan because he's like a mixture of Bruce Lee and Jackie Chan. I'm a big fan of the martial arts kind of things. How about you?
Well, it is pretty hard to pick. There's some pretty cool dudes in this game. You know what? As cliche as it is, I probably have to say Super Macho Man. Just him being a bodybuilder and me being a bodybuilder myself, and him being from America. It just kind of makes sense. You know, he's just this jacked ass dude. He just goes around like bouncing his pecs at Little Mac, just taunting him and shit. And then after that, he just goes and lays on the beach with all the babes. So
He's like
he lives a
Arnold
pretty good life. Yeah, he's basically the Arnold Schwarzenegger of this game. So it's cool
without being the actor or the governor.
without having a shitty accent too.